Alright y'all, what's up? I'ma just jump straight into it. It's another day after work. I got a couple more parts in. Still waiting on some parts. Now, for those of y'all who are in the groups, y'all might have seen my latest post, the one where I said stay tuned. So, if you don't know, my new headlight setup came in. Now, I'm not gonna show too much of it in this video because this isn't the video that's about that. This video, I'm just trying to figure out the wiring situation. Still trying to finish that, right? And I'm also trying to I'm trying to figure out the oil cooler placement. So right now, if you look at it from the front, that's actually in a good place to where I don't have to trim anything. Now, right now, I would consider this to be in the pocket. And by in the pocket, if you look right here, this is where it's sitting. It's sitting in this general area right here. Now, I just got it zip tied right now, but how I do plan on trying to go by doing this is using an exhaust C-clamp, one of those, right? Go through the hole that's under the gas tank and then mount it that way. That's kind of my theory. I'm hoping it works out that way. Like I said, this is just a test fitment, but that would be the best ideal situation, is to have it in the pocket. So then that way I don't have to cut anything. Now, here's one thing I'm also going to have to figure out, which is the oil cooler line routing. Now, about that, I'm actually getting ready to figure out going with an AN setup. I just don't know what AN I want to go with. I don't know if I'm going to do a 3AN or a 4AN. Now, a part of me wants braided lines. I wanted stainless steel lines, but I also want to make sure that I'm pushing enough oil through, but at the same time, not too much and not too little. So, I'm gonna end up double, maybe triple buying as far as that goes. But I rotated the carb all the way back as far as I could, basically, and this is where it would fit to where I wouldn't have to cut anything even if I put it up here, but at least if I put it to the side, I would have to cut something, at least around this area. But where I had it at before, it was up here in the pocket. I wouldn't have to cut anything. So, because I got the oil cooler in the pocket, basically how I'm gonna have to do this is measure, well, once I get that hard mounted, I gotta measure the distance from the cooler's line ports to the engine ports, so I can figure out how I want to go about doing that, because I was doing some research last night so I could figure out how I want to go about doing this. And the ZS, the block threads is, if I'm remembering correct, the M10 by 125 thread. Now, I want to go from the M10 by 125 to a 3AN, and I'll also, in the middle, because my Speedo has the temperature sensor. Well, it has a temperature gauge on it too. I want to run the oil temp sensor. So basically, I want to do two dual setups, so then that way I can get one off the cool side and one off the hot side, and it'll give me an idea of basically what the engine is ideally. That's kind of what I'm hoping for realistically. So I got to figure that out. Now, I'm looking at it like this. I can go about it a couple ways. I just really wanted to figure out the oil cooler mounting first. Once I get that figured out, then I can figure out the lines and how I want to go about doing that, because I don't want to really sit here and double buy and triple buy. I'm just being honest. I done spent a lot of money on this build at this point, but I'll keep doing it just because I don't mind it. I haven't done an oil change on it yet. I know I mentioned it in the last video when I cracked this engine open, but I haven't done an oil change on it yet. Got to drain the oil. I got the 1040 K&N in my garage, just haven't done it. Still got the stock whatever oil they put in there. But the FCR28 is on there. I'm gonna have to figure out if I'm gonna leave it right there with the oil cooler in the pocket. I'm gonna have to figure out where I'm gonna put the idle screw, because if I leave it here, it doesn't reach. See? Yeah, it doesn't reach. So I'm gonna have to figure out where I'm gonna put that, so then that way that's out the way but close enough for me to, you know, use. Yeah, still gotta do wiring. My Deutsch connector kit came in, so I got more female pins. This is the one that I was using before, but I got more pins now. I can finish that. I inquired about my swing arm, which is right here. So for those of y'all who don't know, if you're not from the groups, this swing arm right here, I kind of fucked up really badly. I was trying to put the brass bushings in, so then that way, you know, I can get rid of the stock rubber bushings. But in the process, that happened. So I inquired about a price to get this repaired, and I also do want to get it braced under it. Now, as ghetto as it may sound, what I want to do is, I don't want my brace any lower than a pack of cigarettes, right? And I'm hoping that that's not too high to where the chain will rub, but not too low to where when I bottom out, it rubs, you know? So I'm trying to go for a good, like, middle ground that'll work. So I did inquire about it. I'm just waiting on the answer. I told them I can actually leave the swing arm, and if anything, I'll leave that frame with them, so then that way they can make sure everything lines up the way they should. Yeah, man, I'm making progress. Oh yeah, so if I can get them to do that, I'm actually gonna ask about my tank. I'm gonna inquire about getting the tank done too. I'm hoping they can do that, because I would like a bigger tank. Overall, I would just overall like a bigger tank. But I mean, if I can get more volume out of the tank that I got, I'm cool with that. Oh, and I will see if they can add a vent to it too. Oh, and maybe a bung, so I could put a petcock on it. But this is where I'm at right now. I actually just got these. Y'all gonna see more of these as I'm getting into the wiring. Now I got the paper for it, so I gotta figure out what all these colors are, because I thought it was just 3 wires. I didn't know it was 4, but yeah, I gotta figure that out. Ooh, this is a doozy, you know? You do? You know what? I'm gonna give you a sneak peek, because I didn't get to see it yet with this. So I'm gonna go grab it real quick and get a sneak peek. Alright, so far, this is how I'm looking. Now that I have that type of, you know, hand guard, I'm gonna have to figure out the angle of everything, because honestly, that's the most comfortable angle for me, but I want the lights to be facing out. So I gotta figure that out. As far as I gotta what's the word I'm looking for? Compromise. I gotta look for the best blend of comfortability and aesthetics, right? So figure out how to get it up a little bit, enough to where you can see it, but I'm still comfortable. Now this is only the beginning. I'm not going to talk too much about that. Like I said, this is going to be its own video. Like, I'm going to make my own video about this headlight. I ain't even started yet, but I'm still waiting on some things to come for it. Now, like I said, still doing wiring. I just got off of work, I don't know, like an hour ago. Decided to come over here, so you know the sun's going down. Sun is going down. So I'm just gonna make this its own video, and I'm gonna give y'all another update when I'm jumping back onto the harness, which should be tomorrow. That should be tomorrow. I can get to pinning this, or at least getting this pinning started, along with figuring out how I'm gonna get these mounted. I think I got something coming in. Oh yeah, I got the clamp coming in for the oil cooler, so I can see if I can get that figured out tomorrow too. Still got to figure out the fucking whole harness. I'm not done with this. Not done with it at all. So yeah, I can get that all figured out and shit. What else? What else was there? Oh, I mean, I still got a whole lot to do. Still got a whole lot to do, admittedly. I wanted to just have the engine in and then be able to start it and then, you know, test ride it. But life didn't work out that way for me. Yeah, I decided to say, fuck it, I'm just going to make a whole harness. So here I am. With that being said, I think I'm going to clean up. If y'all want to know any details about anything that y'all are seeing, just ask me. I'll give y'all all the information that I can. Now, I will say this, because in the groups, if you've seen this, you know, you probably seen the comments, but that is actually kind of rare. At least from what I've seen. I purchased the last black one. Somebody in the groups posted a white one and a red one that's for sale, but there's only one in one. So I'm honestly thinking about grabbing a red one for that one. So yeah, I better figure out if y'all gonna grab one before I do. If y'all do, cool. If not, then I can run, you know, 2 of these. But like I said, that's gonna be a separate video on its own. But I figured I could introduce y'all to it. So far though, she's coming together. Move this damn bag so y'all can get a better look. The P32 with the 220mm rotor, right? ZS190 valve. FCR28. Got the hidden oil cooler. 4P. Another 220. I got that's a 14-inch. 120/70/14. 140/70/14. That is the remote res shock. AliExpress adjustable forks. This is my custom quick release trellis, which is, you know, still in a work in progress. Basically, I'm still working on it. Motion Pro Rev 3, Rizuma master cylinders. The wheels are 14-inch RCBs. That box right there, Racing Boys. Trying to think. Grab handles off Amazon. GPS Speedo off of AliExpress. I got this Pro Taper gold handlebars from eBay. Came with the riser. Just gold buttons. You can find those on Amazon. This isn't all the parts, because obviously all the parts ain't on it, but like I said, y'all got any questions, just ask. If I remember where I got it from, I'll tell you where I got it from. But stay tuned, especially for that. That shit is finna look sick. That shit is finna look sick. Till next time.